Do you have any suggestions for best introduction messages when making a connection outside your network?
Sure. This is a tough question to tackle, but I would need to understand your motive for connecting outside your network. So let me try and answer it broadly from a few different perspectives. First, to maximize your productivity in LinkedIn, I would suggest you only connect with those you've actually met, worked with, or will be working with, or at the very least have a common connection. One exception to that is for other Lambda Chi Alpha brothers. If they have it in their profile, they have, in a way, opened that invitation up to other brothers. In that case, your message should begin with, "Hi brother so-and-so, I see that you are a Lambda Chi at such university, and I'm an undergrad or alum from X university." Then state your reason for wanting to connect. That also might work with members of other fraternities and sororities. However, since there's less of a connection there is more of a shot in the dark. Second, it would likely be more productive for you to try to expand outside your network if you narrow it to referrals. So that message would look like, "Hello, John. I recently worked or spoke with Jane, and she suggested I reach out to you regarding your experience on this particular subject."
What are the best ways to get others to endorse you for specific skills?
In my opinion, this is the least useful section of the LinkedIn profile. It technically should be helpful, but the way it's currently set up is quite random and not very genuine. So for example, have you seen the pop-up at the top where it asks if these 4 people are skilled at XYZ? And unfortunately, there's a yes to all option, so that in itself seems less genuine. Another example of this randomness is when your connections endorse you for skills that they have never witnessed you exhibit. And because of this, employers rarely put any credibility behind this feature on LinkedIn. Conversely, the written references further down carry quite a bit of credibility, particularly if they cite specific examples of your skills and your successes. This actually takes a lot of time, and they put their name on it.
Should I make my Facebook profile easier to find through LinkedIn?
To be truthful, the short answer to this is no. Let me expand on this. Your LinkedIn profile is your professional presence on social media, and your Facebook profile is your personal presence on social media. To an extent, I really feel you should be able to be yourself in your personal life within reason, and much of what shows up on Facebook comes without context and without background. One exception to this would be if you are in an industry that warrants either a fan page or a group page, then by all means, that would be the route to take. When it comes to social media, there are 2 primary guidelines that we'll share with you, both of which require you to be proactive. The first guideline surrounds your privacy settings, particularly in Facebook. Generally, here is what we see. Frankly, you should privatize your profiles as much as you can. The most important tips are this. First, privatize all of your albums and their photos. So most people have their albums set as private, however, they sometimes forget to privatize their timeline photos and upload photos. Second, be sure you restrict tags so that they require your approval on all photos, check-ins, and posts. The second guideline would be to ensure that your profile and any activity on any social media reflects the values of the fraternity. Understand that your activity on social media is public and reflects you, your family, and your fraternity. Just pretend that any post, tweet, or hashtag could end up on the front page or in headline news. Just realize that any activity is in ink, not in pencil. Once it's posted, there's a record. Deleting it is just superficial. This new technology boom has revolutionized this generation, and the social media can be an amazing tool to network, share successes, and keep in touch. Let's just be sure to maneuver this cyber world wisely.
So Lenny, of all the things that you do, tell me really, what is it that is your favorite part about being a member of Lambda Chi Alpha?
I really enjoy the brotherhood that continues. So I talk about the brotherhood and we reminisce about the old days and my fraternity brothers and the class that I went through with. But it continues no matter where I go. So if I'm wearing letters and somebody says, hey, I was a Lambda Chi so-and-so, it's a moment. It's kind of neat to have a connection with a stranger. I further enjoy seeing the excitement of the fraternity in new brothers that are coming through at different chapters all across Florida or anywhere that I may encounter them. So working with the brothers at Rollins, University of Florida, UCF, Stetson, Embry-Riddle, FIT, it's amazing to see their enthusiasm like I did years ago.
So is it those new experiences and enthusiasm that fuels you to be involved so much as a volunteer?
Part yes. I would say it is a lot of the giving back that I don't feel I need to, but I want to. I'll tell you that the fraternity taught me a lot of things. It taught me about leadership, budgeting, things that I probably would never have learned in another organization. Something as simple that we learned during recruitment with regard to how to introduce yourself to people, how to listen, how to pick up on things and, continue a conversation in a meaningful way, just like we do in Rush. That has helped me throughout my career. What I'd further like to add is that I wouldn't be where I am in my career without a fraternity brother. So I share this with others only because I don't think it's a unique thing that happened to me. When I interviewed with my most recent company, which was the Heinz company, my interviewer happened to be a Lambda Chi from Marshall, Keith Edwards. And the interview was 2 hours of tell me what you did in your fraternity. He didn't ask me about my skills. He didn't ask me about my experience. He asked me about the leadership that I learned and what I did and what I brought to the table. And I think he took that as, here's what this person can bring to our organization. Having said that, my experience with interviews and getting a job offer, it's typically a 2-3 week process, sometimes more. But I had an offer within 24 hours, primarily because of Keith felt so strongly about what I could bring to the table and what I could bring to the organization, and I wouldn't be where I am today had it not been for that connection, his role in getting me into the organization and really giving me the experience to work worldwide. And I'm thankful for it.
That's amazing. That's amazing that you've had such a meaningful experience. It helped you in the professional world. And I guess the last thing I'd really like to know is what has been the most impactful thing for you to do as a member of Lambda Chi, whether you be active or an alumnus?
Wow. There are so many, so I'm going to try and pick out something. So one of the things that happened when I was an undergraduate is one of our fraternity brothers died coming out of a party. And so that affected me significantly for the rest of my life. And I never knew that a brother could touch me in so deeply and so long term. Coming out of his death after his drunk driving accident, I implemented a drunk driving program on our campus, a designated driver program with all of the bars within the area. It has really kept me in a healthy state of mind and hopefully influence in a good way, in an important way for our brothers that, hey, our fraternity is not necessarily about the party. It's a bonus that you can enjoy some time with them. But if you really care about your brothers, you watch over each other. And that's the biggest thing that it's done for me.
Well, great. Well, we appreciate all you do, and I thank you for coming in today. And I really could stop the video. I don't know why I keep saying that. Those are just things.